Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Nissan Ariya. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Nissan here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Ariya. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car brand guide. By the way, if you have any questions on the Nissan, just ask for Paul. Let's get into it. So when it comes to important EV specs, this produces 389 horsepower and is able to go 272 miles on a charge, or rather it says up to 272 miles, so you might get less range than that. Dual electric motor setup, by the way. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now I think the front end style of the Ariya is actually really cool looking. The design's pretty simplistic. Once you pop down to the lights, that's pretty fancy. Obviously the front end's all closed off for aerodynamic efficiency, but there's the front. Tire and wheel setup is 235 by 55 by 19. You can see the wheels are mostly closed off for aerodynamic efficiency. Nice painted fender flares. You can see a charge port there on the side. Painted bodywork there at the bottom. Blacked out mirror cap and then blacked out roofline. So it gives the Ariya this kind of like Range Rover-esque type design. Now this leads us to the key fob. Very blurry key fob. We got the Nissan logo, lock and unlock, opening for the rear hatch area. Now you can see there's quite a bit of storage space. I would say this is similar in size to a Model Y, Toyota RAV4 for another comparison. But yeah, definitely practical, and there is more storage underneath as well. When you're all done, just press that and that will lower the hatch right back down. Taking a look at the rest of the rear, you can see the light bar there. On the back, we have our Evolve Plus E-Force badge as well. There's the back. Now this leads us into the passenger cabin. You've got this kind of cool stitching and trim up top, down below as well. And then here are the seats. Look at the kind of suede insert there. Pop in so you guys can see the legroom. Got a storage pocket. Heated seats here with some USB ports as well. And then headroom, it does slope a little bit, so yeah. This leads us up front where you can see again we've got the kind of like soft touch trim throughout. All of our window controls, the mirrors power fold in, you got your memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Then here's the front seat, nice trim. Power adjustments on the side. That's pretty cool there. Soft touch on the dash as well, and then down below you've got functions for like the heads-up display, opening the hatch, steering wheel is manually adjustable. So taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see nice perforated trim on either side. You get a little ring there at the bottom, which is very interesting. Practical controls here in the front, including your adaptive cruise control, your volume controls, all of that. Regular stocks here on the back too. Now, just like a lot of modern cars, we do have this digital gauge cluster here in the center, which you can customize what it displays information-wise. It's very similar to other modern Nissans, and it also lets you know, for example, how much range you have left, the drive mode you're in, and then if the E-step, the one pedal drive's on or off. 360 camera system with this, and looks like I better move out of this person's way so they can get out. Anyways, as for the rest of the infotainment system, and I guess we'll go back to 360 in a moment, you've got these little shortcut buttons here on the side, and it does make a sound in reverse too, by the way, which is kind of nifty. But yeah, simple with that. So yeah, everything's easy to use there. We of course have the famous haptic feedback buttons, which are very interesting to say the least. Of course your stop start right there too, volume control. Got your parking brake
can interrupt
there.
The voice
No thank you. Anywho, we've got a double storage situation here. Can't talk. You've got one little storage cubby, and then you've got the regular glove box right next to it, which is another nice feature. We have the center console that moves backwards and forwards. It's a very strange feature. Shifter on top. Drive mode select right there, another haptic feedback. The E-step function, also haptic feedback. And phone charging pad too. Some more storage down below with the USBs and all of that. Camera, rear view mirror with this, and then a sunroof up top. Here's a quick look at our window sticker, 2025 Ariya. If you guys want me to do other packages on the Ariya, just let me know. But $52,405 is the total MSRP on this. Let's see how it performs. Well, let's set off in the Ariya. We've got some wonderful, wonderful weather here. Now, I'll say the Ariya is actually a pretty impressive EV. You can call it Nissan's Tesla in a way, right? It's the Model Y competitor. I think there's a lot to like about the Ariya. First off,
available commands are say the place name followed by
no,
canceling voice recognition.
There we go. I hate the voice recognition stuff so much. But yeah, as I was saying, I mean, it's a nice car. Like, you've got the nice trim throughout, which I think is pretty cool. Steering wheel is kind of interesting with the ring there at the bottom. I find that unique in a way. And it drives well. Again, it's very similar in terms of the size to the Model Y, and it drives very similar as well. The thing about electric cars is the big difference is actually not the driving experience. It's more so of the battery size, just the range in general, and then power, right? Acceleration. But in terms of like the steering, handling, and all that, man, I'll tell you, all of these electric cars, not all of them, but most of them drive shockingly similar. And I always wonder, like, how are we gonna make sense of having a bunch of different brands when if things ever went full EV, if they all just feel and drive and look even very similar. But yeah, seats are comfortable. I like the trim. It's one thing Nissan does a good job with is material use. And I do think that EVs like this have actually made Tesla more competitive, because I recently reviewed a newer version of the Model 3, and it's like they brought up their interior game massively with that. And I think the reason why they did is because of stuff like this, because people are like, hey, we like the Tesla battery and we like the range and everything, but why does Nissan look better? Why does Nissan have a nicer interior, you know? But yeah, it's a pretty comfortable ride. And of course, being an EV, right, you get all the horsepower, all the torque right off the bat. Catalytic converter expert. Is that their way of saying, hey, you live in a city, your cat's got stolen, we can help you out? That's my guess. That's my guess. Happens all too often nowadays, but I want to try to get like a decent, like, big acceleration. So I think once I turn here, I can actually get up and get a little bit of a boosty acceleration for you guys. I'll do my best. Window sticker almost flew off the dash. It's pretty quick. Again, it's kind of like a this kind of it's like a Model Y long range in terms of the acceleration and everything. So overall, the Nissan Ariya is a nice car. The only downside with the Nissan Ariya is just the range. You know, I think that everything that's EV should have at least 300 miles, if not more. 300 miles is really not all that much, especially when you have to spend time charging. I'd say 400 miles is actually a better bottom end. But either way, let me know what you guys think about the Ariya in terms of the looks and the specs and everything. But yes, Nissan's Tesla. With the EV mandate being pulled back, we'll see if Nissan keeps pumping these out or if they make a shift. I think they'll still keep selling them, just at much lower volume amounts. There won't be as much of a push for them as there was before. That's just kind of my 2 cents on the subject there. But either way, that's the Ariya.